Okay, this is Brian with Aaron Boys. I'm at a location in New Berlin. We have a 15.5 by 9.5 foot pond that has a leaking issue. Now the problem here is when you turn the stream off and the water all settles down here into this bottom portion of the pond, overnight it'll lose about 3 to 4 inches off the top. So right now the pond's not even, doesn't look like it's filled to capacity. See that rock right there? Line of mineral deposit that's all the way around the rock. That's how high the water really should be in this pond. So right at that point is where we're losing water. So is we're gonna have to check all the way around these rocks and see if there's any liner that has become misplaced over time and the water's just seeping out over it. It could be a hole too. Won't know until we find it. Hopefully we can find it for them. On top of that, we've already troubleshooted this pond. So I mean, we've checked the stream for any leaks while the water was running in that. Couldn't find any. What we did was we turned the pond off, let all the water settle down into here, and overnight it dropped about 3 or 4 inches. So now we know that the leak is down here in the bottom somewhere. So that's one way to troubleshoot your pond, to see where the leak's at. So I'm going to get to work here and try to find this pond or this leak. I'm going to start here at the waterfall, and I'm going to start here at the skimmer box where, you know, the leak might be at. If they're not there, then I'm going to have to go all the way around this rim here and look for the leak. 99% of all your leaks are going to occur in the stream, but in this case this is the 1%, and the leak is somewhere in here. So wish me luck. Okay, we might have found one potential leak spot. See how I removed these rocks here and all that liner that's sticking up? I'm just kind of repositioning it. But when I got to this big rock right here, I moved the rock. Look how, I mean, the liner's up to here, starting where the rock is, but it's all the way down here, down to the bottom, which drops about a good 4 inches. So I'm going to reposition with this line, play around with this liner a little bit, see if I can get it up higher, and then I'm going to still keep checking because there might be other spots where the water is leaking out. Okay, I think we found the spot where a lot of this water was leaking. The water level comes up to about the top of this rock right here. Now that rock is higher than this elevation over here. So you can see there's water coming right to the edge of this liner. Now if I go back, I mean, this liner is only to basically right here. So I bet this water is coming back and seeping back up behind this liner, and they're losing it here. That's just one spot, so I'm still going to have to check the rest. So, okay, as you can see, I had to move all those rocks. This area right here, as I shown before, the liner under there was sitting way too low, and that was definitely a spot where water was running back out of. But as I look around the pond, I see, like over here for example, see if I can get closer to it. You see a line on it. Now you see that's mineral deposits from where the water used to be up to. But the water, I just filled the pond, and if you look at the skimmer box, right where the wear opening is, the water is actually almost up above it. And it's actually supposed to be a little bit lower than that. So this pond is basically filled a little too much. I filled it up. That was my goal. I actually set a tennis ball over here. Let me get closer. This tennis ball right here, there was no water up to it. If I get closer, I drew a line down there where you can see it. I edged it in with a stone. and that's where the water was up to. Now I just filled it and the water actually reached up to that tennis ball, so I'm going to let that sit there. Uh, Actually, for where that skimmer box and the wear is positioned, this water should actually be sitting a little bit lower than it actually is to that tennis ball. So this huge pond here, well, it's not like a gigantic pond, but you know, it's a 9.5 by 15.5. It must have shifted downward on this side. It must have shifted down a bit because the water is not going to go up to like this level anymore like it used to. So if we go back to the skimmer box, yeah, the water's still. Basically all we can do is wait for tomorrow and see if the water drops down. Now I went through this section here all the way around to here. I removed all the rocks from the waterfall around there and around just to see if I could find any liner that was below it, and I didn't see anything. I didn't see any holes in the liner either, but it's kind of hard to tell because of all the muck and dirt and stuff all in that. I shifted around the skimmer box to see if there's any leaks or any cracks in the skimmer box. I could not see any cracks or anything in the skimmer box where water could be leaking out of. The thing here is, if they want the water to be higher, this is, I mean, that's about to go. So they're not going to get water like up to that stone right there anymore or anything. I mean, this is as high as it goes. So it obviously shifted over time. Let's see what else here, if I'm missing anything. Yeah, I moved to check the liner. The other ones I didn't touch were these right here. So I don't want to touch them yet. I just want to see how this looks tomorrow, if the water drops or not. So I'll leave that tennis ball, and if the water drops below that tennis ball, then we know the leak is still in the pond somewhere. So, and that basically leaves this side right here to check out. Now the only problem was when I got here, pond running, so the water was already filled. The pond was already filled, so you know, I wanted that to not be filled. I wanted it to sink down all the way to where the leak was, and then that would give me a better idea where to look, but I didn't have that luxury, so it made the job a little harder, but it wasn't like a huge deal. But oh well, we will be back tomorrow and see what happens. All right.